Wait, he's Batman? Ready. Let's go.
Of course, this is from the Zack Snyder universe, not the post-Justice League. Not what you're hearing right now. But it's good music anyway. I mean, I love that music. I like the music when hold on. I like the music when he rescues Iris. That's a great love song right there. That's also in Zack Snyder's Justice League. I kind of refer to that a lot. But we'll get to Iris in a moment. You see this scene here? That scene doesn't appear in the movie, but those of you who have, you know what scene this is and what it could have been. But it was a great movie. I might give it an A minus. Now, those of you who have watched the television show with Grant Gustin, the first couple of seasons, you know what his deal was, that he had to go back in time to save his mom. Now, in the movie, it's a Latina mom, which I don't know. I'm not sure exactly if she's Cuban or Ecuadorian or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's Latin culture, and as a Latino, I'm okay with representation. It wasn't overdone. It wasn't too left wing. She obviously is photogenic. She's hot as hell. Obviously, I mean, she's a couple years older than me, so whatever. I'd bang her. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Sexy mom, tiger mom is what people. I don't know if tiger mom is tiger mom an old phrase now. I don't know. Somebody will let me know. So here we have the Flash. To his immediate right is Michael Keaton, Batman. Behind him to the right is Kara Zor-El, Sasha Calle, or Kale. I'm not sure if she's Middle Eastern or Latina. I do not know. I think she's Middle Eastern. And all this really is that we start out with a very cringe-worthy scene where, and this is sort of the sort of semi mid-credits scene where Flash goes. There's a sinkhole happening because of terrorists. Ben Affleck goes over this really quick and says, "There's a guy who wants attention. He's a terrorist. He's terrorizing Gotham City. I need your help." So they contact the Flash. We see CGI Henry Cavill's Superman for like a few seconds, kind of like what you saw in like the premiere episode of Naomi, where Superman was in Naomi, but it's kind of like that, where you don't really see his face. So Superman's out, Wonder Woman's out, everybody's out, but they need the Flash. So in comes the Flash, and if I can zoom in here, looks a little more professional, doesn't it? And so he goes in. There's buildings getting destroyed, streets getting. There's two scenes happening when Ben Affleck is chasing the bad guys down the freeway, and it's a reckless car chase. But as we say, it goes like in a snap. It goes by pretty quick. So the Batman car chase isn't much to be like in spectacle. The CGI, I would say, is above the TV pay grade, but not as great as a movie budget. So at least in the beginning, I wasn't as amazed by the CGI. But I liked what I was seeing so far. That I bought into it. I was okay with it. And now I was not expecting Star Wars, Disney, or at least Disney Star Wars level of CGI with this. But Batfleck coming in, Ben Affleck as Batman coming in and saving the day. Flash rescues babies in a hospital. They're all falling to their doom. All the babies are sliding out. The nurse is sliding off. So, Flash has to stop for a bunch of horny girls. They toss him a candy bar. This is all about Ezra Miller trying to get his energy back. So he eats the candy bars. He wrecks open a vending machine from the hospital that's floating in midair. So he's basically moving at a millionth of a second while all these babies are all falling down from the building, and then he's rescuing them one by one. And that's how it kind of starts out. It's rescuing all the babies. One is in a microwave because he has to put the baby in a safe place, which reminds me of Elseworlds 80-Page Giant. In that one, there was a baby in a microwave, and then so they banned the issue. The issue is not, I don't know. It's hard to find that. It's that issue is worth a lot of money, but that's the one where it's like a baby's in a dumpster, or not a dumpster, a microwave, and there's some nudity that's not appropriate. What you're seeing here are different scenes that deal with Barry talking to his dad. Barry, there's Bruce Wayne there on this page. I am off my game today. Where am I at? A lot of things are happening here. So Flash is saving all the babies, rescuing, all in a day's work, saving people from sinkholes, and then, Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot does show up on the bridge. Which, how many times are we going to see bridge? I'm so sick of the bridge scenes. Okay, how many times are accidents going to happen on the bridge? We saw it with Spider-Man, right? We saw it with Shazam. We even saw it in the animated Spider-Man, and we're seeing it here again. So, yeah, that's kind of it's an awkward thing, but it's good to see Gal Gadot one final time, and it was good to see Ben Affleck as Batman one final time. No Henry Cavill as Superman, though he does show up somehow. And how does that happen? So the idea of this whole setup to the whole multiverse thing is that Barry has to get his dad out of jail. Now, what Ben Affleck, Bruce Wayne, tells him is that, "I'm sorry, Barry." So he gives him I can show a flash drive, a little flash drive, right? Puts in the flash drive, and Bet Barter. What is that? The flash drive shows very garbled security cam footage of Henry Allen going to the store. He never once looks up at the camera. He never once looks up at the camera to show that he's buying groceries. He's supposed to buy a can of tomatoes, a can of crushed tomatoes for spaghetti that his wife, Nora Allen, Barry's mom, Latina mom, I must add, to bring home. The mom is dead. She is stabbed. And we never get a clear answer about who the murderer is. But suffice to say that somehow it was Barry's fault. Now, I would have to watch this movie over again to really understand what had happened. But we're not betting barter on these weird images I'm getting. Here is Barry Allen in the Batcave. So Barry Allen cannot rescue his father. He grieves over his mother, and he's just like, you know what? I'm gonna travel back in time. And well, he does it accidentally. He goes back to the time where he's rescuing the babies from the hospital. They're falling out of the window and stuff like that. And there's a dog. There's a trainer dog too. That's a seeing eye dog, but it's a training dog. It's like a rescue dog, and he rescues people, I guess, like a Saint Bernard. But Ezra Miller, Barry realizes he can now go to the past. So he talks to Batfleck. He talks to Bruce Wayne one last time and says, "If I can go back in time, I can save everyone. I can save your parents. I can save everybody's parents. I can do this, right?" And Ben doesn't say no, but he doesn't say yes. So it's like it's kind of out of his hands. If oh my God, I'm all over the place. If Bruce Wayne wanted to stop him, he wouldn't know how. It's not like with Kryptonite with Superman. So Barry does it anyway. He's like, all right, I'm going to do this. Kind of like when Homer Simpson was going to buy Lisa a pony. He's like, nah. And Marge is like, those aren't even words. So he does it. He buys Lisa a pony. And Barry Allen goes back in time. And when he does, he saves his mom's life by putting those canned crushed tomatoes into the basket when she's shopping. So Barry lost his mother when he was only like, 9 or not even 10 years old, probably like 7 or 8 years old. And so he's going back decades in time to save his mom. So his mom is saved. And in this, how does the multiverse looks like this. this is like kind of like what the center of the multiverse looks like, this arena, okay? And you try to imagine all these different images that are popping up everywhere. All these images are everywhere, right? So that's what this is. This is sort of a place. This is sort of the hub for everything that's happening. This is where Barry goes to and try to get to the past. This is what happens when he meets Dark Flash, when he's with the other Barry, and where all the multiverse cameos kind of come in. So this is not the exact same one, but looks like the one, and you'll see everybody in here. So you'll see the Henry Cavill Superman, you'll see Aquaman, Jason Momoa, you won't see Victor Stone, but Victor Stone is mentioned somehow. I guess Ray Fisher wasn't going to sign to have his likeness in the movie. Ray Fisher's pissed, okay? So he's in Rebel Moon. That's nothing you can do about it. So everybody else is in this movie somehow, whether it's like Gal Gadot or Ben Affleck, they're actually appearing in the movie, or it's CGI appearance or uncredited. This is a 90th anniversary of DC Comics tribute, 90 years in 2024. So if I may go back to the other image, if we can do that. And so he ends up saving his mom. He's in an alternate reality. He did not travel through time. He created another universe. And he learns this by trying to go and find Bruce Wayne. So he couldn't find the other superheroes in this new timeline. There's 3 timelines total as far as the movie's concerned. The first one being the DCEU, right? The second one being this one here, and then the third one be at the end, okay? And I'm not sure how James Gunn will deal with that or not. So this second timeline, we have Supergirl, we have Michael Keaton as Batman. So the other superheroes do not exist, but that Batman does exist, and they know that Bruce Wayne's Batman. At least Barry does. So he sees a happy, jumpy, go lucky, another Barry Allen. But see, he's traveled back to when he was 18, assuming that this Barry Allen is in his late 30s, early 40s. He's traveled back to when he was 18 years old, when his mom is alive. So it's 18-year-old Barry and 40-year-old Barry. And now they go to Bruce Wayne's mansion. No mention of Alfred, really, just like bits and pieces of the Michael Gough Alfred, but nobody else, just Michael Keaton. And Michael Keaton looks like an old, hairy kind of rock star, right? Kind of looks like, Nick Nolte from the Hulk movie, from the Ang Lee movie Hulk in 2003. He looks like that. He gets himself cleaned up. It's one of those things where, and I gotta tell you, the way that the old Bruce Wayne shows up to encounter the 2 Barry Allens is better than washed up Bruce Wayne. Christian Bale showed up at the beginning of The Dark Knight Rises. I mean, The Dark Knight Rises, Christian Bale shows up kind of like hobbling, right? This Batman's older, and he still kicks ass, or at least his stunt double does. I think that Michael Keaton does a bit of his own stunts, to be fair. So I'm not sure how much is his own stunt and then how much is stuntman. Because unlike Tom Cruise, Michael Keaton does half of his stunts. Tom Cruise will do all of his stunts. So they team up. They say they have to get Kal-El, Superman, out of prison. They go to so if you know the Flashpoint movie, you kind of know the Flashpoint comic book and animated movie, you kind of know how this goes. But there's no Cyborg, and instead of finding Kal-El, they find Kara Zor-El. And Sasha Calle busts out of prison, gets everybody out. The sequences with the 2 Barrys and Batman are pretty good. Batman goes in there. He does not have a plan. He's never had to go and infiltrate Russian territory. I was always hoping the first Batman movie with Robert Pattinson would be in Russia or some shit, like somewhere else, maybe another place, like The Hunt for Red October or some shit like that, or Red Heat, or I don't know. Well, Red Heat's not a true Russian movie, is it? But they rescue Supergirl, and here are all these different scenes. We do see Iris West, Kiersey Clemens, in the first timeline, trying to be. She's a reporter now, and she's looking out for her. Looking out. I mean, she does like Barry. We can tell that. Is this the same Iris West in? Well, I mean, it is the same actress in Zack Snyder's Justice League, and the director does touch upon the fact that maybe that timeline happened, but maybe it didn't, because I think the director said he did like Zack Snyder's movie, but Kiersey Clemens is there to help, but she comes off not really friendly, but not really hostile. She doesn't know. She doesn't put her words in the right place. But they have a sort of a visit. She does like him, so she comes to his house. It's like, okay. But that was before the timeline change. So there's no Iris in this one. At least I don't think there is. There's another actress playing Iris. I'm not sure if that's it. Yeah, but there's a conflict between the two Barrys, because this Barry, the 18-year-old Barry, has had entitlements because his mom never died. He took everything his mom gave him for granted. And he kind of just wasn't hardened by society. And this Barry, DCEU Barry, is hardened. So there's conflict. And I like the scene where Barry talks to himself on that platform in the Batcave. That was one of the best scenes. Even when he's talking to his co-workers after the goofy baby microwave scene, even that scene was pretty good too. That's why I was like, I was cringing so much with the babies falling off. I was like, what is this? This is goofy shit. This is like Joss Whedon stuff right here. So after the rescue, we do see the entire time we're in the second universe, the return of General Zod, the whole redux of the scenario of Man of Steel, where he comes to Earth. You got the actress who plays Feora in there, and you got, I think, the same stunt double, big man who played Non, or the big heavy hitter guy with the helmet on, the black visor. So that's pretty cool. So there's a whole battle that goes on between Zod and the Kryptonians, Zod, Feora, and the Kryptonians, and Michael Keaton's Batman, the two Flashes, and Supergirl. Now, in this, there's a whole goofy scene where Barry has to take himself, 18-year-old Barry, on the day to get his powers. Barry sacrifices his powers so that the second Barry, the 18-year-old Barry, would get his powers and that everything flows right. Assuming that Barry assumes, which Michael Keaton tells him, you open another universe using noodles of spaghetti. One noodle of spaghetti, one universe here, one universe there, and then he throws the spaghetti on a plate. All the universes intertwine, or they don't, and then you have a hot mess putting the spaghetti sauce. So the 18-year-old Barry gets his powers, and 40-year-old Barry has no powers. But just like in the comic book, almost, Barry uses an electric chair to get himself back on track. Doesn't work. Michael Keaton failed, but Supergirl takes him up to get his powers. Nothing too fancy. And so they all have that final battle. Who is that? Who is this? Who is this? I do not know who that is. That could be Feora. I'm not sure. So the first time Michael Keaton Batman dies, and so does Supergirl dies, because they needed her DNA to help restore Krypton on Earth. Barry Allen, 40-year-old Barry Allen goes back in time again to try to save everyone and try this again. But still Supergirl dies, and still Michael Keaton Batman dies. So no matter what happens, they both die. So there's nothing they can do. They don't stop Zod, as far as I know. They don't stop Zod. And we see, before Barry Allen goes to the second timeline, we do see him with, a dark Flash push him into the second timeline. And all the time I figured that it was the 18-year-old Barry. But it was more like his Flash is very similar to Superboy Prime from the 2005 Final Crisis comic books, where Superboy Prime did not want to lose his family and he wanted to go back and save his universe. Very, very, very similar to that. So He ended up wearing some of Zod's Kryptonian armor, and that became Dark Flash armor. And uh, now I have a question though, because we get into the middle of the universe where we see Nicolas Cage as Superman, not Teen Titans Go Superman, where he did the voice. I mean, the Superman versus the Brainiac Spider, and we see George Reeves Superman, and we see Adam West Batman, and we see Christopher Reeves Superman, along with Helen Slater as Supergirl. And I'm sure there's other Easter eggs. There's Grayson's in the first universe at the beginning. There's a Grayson's coffee shop or someplace. After Dick Grayson, I don't know. There's so many Easter eggs. I don't mind watching Easter eggs later on there's semi spoilers. But let me know what you all think about Easter eggs if you never count them all. But let me ask this question, because we do see the Dark Flash. Actually, no, that's General Zod here. That's General Zod. Is that, I know that John Wesley Shipp's Jay Garrick shows up in the movie as a CGI character, but is that John Wesley Shipp as Dark Flash, as an old Dark Flash? I looked up the IMDb and I could not see it. I don't know who else it could have been. I can't imagine it could have been anybody else. But was this him? Did we see John Wesley Shipp? Let me know in the comments section. And also to the dude I talked to earlier on TikTok, let me know what the post-credit scene was. I did not see it. I checked out after the mid-credits. So at the end, Barry does take away the can of tomatoes. Hold the fuck on. Somebody's honking the horn. Everybody wants attention, and I don't give a shit. There's Sasha Kaye. Don't know who that is there, but there's Sasha. So he takes away the can of tomatoes because he has to allow his mother to die. He has to learn to deal with his loss. You know, it's like Yoda said, "You must learn to let go of the things you fear to lose," right? Anakin Skywalker didn't learn this lesson. Anakin Skywalker, if he had those powers, he would have brought his mom. He would have brought his mom back. He would have brought Padme back and the babies, right? Which they survived anyway. I don't know who these actors are. You might recognize them. I do not. Let's see if we have a last image. We don't have very many images left. So he does do the one thing I expected him to do. He gets his dad off the hook, and that he somehow ties Bruce Wayne Enterprises with the cameras. So we do not see Michael Keaton at the end of this movie, because we get "Go George Clooney, go George Clooney, go," and George Clooney will be your friend if you vaccinate. Otherwise, he will never talk to you. But yeah, George Clooney is in the blue suit at the very end. I was like, you son of a bitch. Okay. So there is no more Ben Affleck as Batman. It's George Clooney as Batman and Bruce Wayne, or maybe he's just Bruce Wayne. I don't know. But what would have happened, I think, we have so much discoloration here. Let me just fix that. Can we? What would have happened is we would have seen Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton show up at the same time, and using the cousins excuse. Kind of like when the two Barrys, "Oh yeah, this is my cousin Barry. I'm his cousin, right? We have to go to that cousin's dinner. You know, let's go, Barry." You know, when he met his dorm room buddies in the second universe. So this is the third universe in which we see George Clooney. The third universe where Barry puts everything back as best as he can, but things have changed. And that's it. Notable changes. Barry Allen has goggles on, his speed goggles that don't damage his eyes. He has that pop-up flash suit. His suit is very close to almost like Grant Gustin's suit. Grant Gustin's not in this at all. No Smallville, no DC TV. I will talk about DC TV later on tonight. Nothing else like that. Nothing like, oh my God, you know. So that's about it. I'm saying a lot because I'm trying to really go off the top of my head. There was a post-credits scene. I did not see it. I can't imagine what it would be because all the storylines have wrapped up. unless there was something that was left over. I don't think it's Cyborg because, uh, yeah, Mr. Fisher's done. He's not coming back. So that's it. I will give this movie an A minus just because I liked all the cameos. I did want to see what Nicolas Cage looked like as Superman. And it was kind of funny, but it was kind of cool at the same time. It wasn't as funny as it could have been in my head, but who knows? Who knows how funny that would have been, him yelling bees and Lois, Lois, ah, you know? So, A minus. And I'm going to take a little break for a couple of hours. And then when I come back, I will talk about the sad fate of the DC CW verse and do some Zelda posts. So feel free to write your comments in. Mark your spoilers, please, if you're going to spoil something. And everybody go see the movie. Until next time, same bat time, different bat channel.